want to tell you about the moment I realized I was being lied to, because I'm willing to bet that you're being lied to too. The lie is simple and sneaky. It's just that you need to be on social media to have a wildly successful business. And that if you're not posting consistently, showing up on stories, doing the reels, you're leaving money on the table. And the problem with this is that the algorithm is basically your boss now, and your boss keeps wanting more. And let me also just say that I'm coming from a place where I have tried this. I believe this for years. I believe that Instagram is kind of like one of the best ways to market your business. You have to be there. You'll be irrelevant. I even hired someone at some point. I'm going to talk about that a little later in the video. So anyway, when the results are in, at the end of the day, quit Instagram. I quit Instagram. So I'm going to talk all about the journey and how I market my business now, why I think Instagram is just not providing the ROI that it used to. And it's probably one of those platforms that is not worth as much time as you're giving it. And yeah, we have a lot to cover. So let's dive in. If we haven't met yet, I'm Kara of the Kara Report. I run a content marketing agency where basically we're blogging for you. We're writing podcast scripts for you. We're turning your podcast scripts into blog posts. We're getting you on Pinterest. Basically, I believe in the power of search-driven marketing, which means if somebody is searching for you online, I want to help you be found. Easy enough, right? People are literally searching for what you have to offer. They're willing to pay for it. Why not get in front of it? Like, the fact that this is even a question is bananas. So let me tell you about the first time that I realized something was amiss with Little Miss Instagram. I'm going to take you way back to 2017 when I started my destination wedding business, and that was my first business. And basically during the pandemic, travel shut down and we shut down right with it. Like, nobody was traveling. I'm based up here in Canada, and we were just shut down for a long time. So nobody was traveling. I was devastated because I had been hustling from 2017 to 2020 to really get this business off the ground. It was finally really starting to consistently work. And then it was like, boom, over. And then in 2021, something kind of interesting happened was that we randomly started getting inquiries, like a lot of inquiries. And we're just like, we're not marketing anywhere. This is me and my team. Like, I was not posting on Instagram. I was not continuing to blog or do Pinterest or do any of the things that I was doing before. Like in 2017, like a good little brand new entrepreneur that I am, I was doing all the things. So I was like, wait, we're not doing anything. Like, where are these leads coming from? And that's when I pulled the data. Luckily, I had a CRM that gave me access to all the data. And I was like, wait, Instagram has not been pulling its weight this entire time. Even though I've been spending so many weekends, like during the peak of marketing the business, so much of my energy was always on Instagram, and then blogging and Pinterest and other things were just kind of like an afterthought, to be honest. And I was like, wait, these things have been doing the heavy lifting this whole time. And even when I'm not pinning or writing blog posts, they're still bringing me leads. Like, wait, this is weird. This must be a one-off. I'm just kidding. But really, in 2020, when no one was traveling, obviously I wasn't getting paid. So that's when I started this content marketing agency. And how I decided what I wanted to do was like, what do people always ask me about? How I, as a brand new destination wedding travel agent with really not that much experience, how was I getting booked so frequently? And then I was like, blogging and Pinterest, Instagram. Actually, I think I started doing like all the marketing things. I specifically like to write, so blogging is sort of like a shoe-in for me. And I was like, yeah, these are the things people are asking me for. This is what I'm gonna do for work. So anyway, when we started getting leads again in my wedding business, I was like, this is so weird. And that was probably the first time that I realized that I didn't need Instagram to grow my business. And you think that that's where the story would stop, but it isn't. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit more about like what this live looks like, because I don't think too many people are coming right out there and saying you need to be on Instagram. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I think so many people will tell you that you need to be on Instagram. Everyone's like, Instagram, Instagram, Instagram. You need to be on social media. It's 2026. You need to be on social media to grow your business. And there's more subtle things too. Like, if you're like trying on Instagram because everyone says you're supposed to be there, all of a sudden you start to hear like more messages that are like, you just need to be more consistent. You might need a better strategy. Maybe you need to hire help. Maybe your hooks aren't strong enough. Maybe your visuals aren't strong enough, but also don't be too curated. Like, it just gets out of control. And the goalposts, what I've realized is on social media, the goalposts never stop moving. And when it doesn't work for us, we just assume that it's us and not the platform. So like I said, I tried all the things. And you think that when I realized that most of my leads were coming from Google and Pinterest and other search-driven marketing, actually in my wedding business, it really was like blogging and Pinterest. You think after that I would have been like, I'll apply the same principles. to this business. But that's when it gets a little embarrassing. Round 2, I'm doing it all over again with this new business. So I started blogging and Pinterest for this business, of course, because I knew search worked. I'd literally proven it and I was doing it for other people. But yet I still felt this like weight, like I needed Instagram, especially early on when, let's be honest, search is slow to kick off. I'll be the first to admit it. I think search driven marketing like blogging and Pinterest are the best ways to grow your business. But I'm not going to lie and say that it's fast. It's not overnight success for sure. It is very much the opposite of that. So I was like, you know what? Instagram, it'll be a good supplement. That's where my clients are. I just need to figure it out. I know people have success on Instagram. And like, I'm telling you, I know people have a success on Instagram. I know that to this day. However, I was like, I need to figure this out. Like, honestly, this went on for like 5 years where I'm like buying courses, trying strategies. I felt like I was missing something very obvious. And if I'm being honest, I can be so stubborn as a business owner. I wasn't really having trouble finding leads. Like in the early days, it was definitely mostly referrals, and we still get a ton of referrals. But now our search driven marketing, like from the blog, Pinterest, podcasting, and hopefully now YouTube, they're like starting to catch up. Blogging is our main one right now, but podcast is second after referrals, I should say. The Enneagram 3 in me, I want to be honest, is like, it was bothering me that this was like a nut that I could not crack. Like I knew that Google would probably be my number one source of leads. And right now it's like, it goes referrals, Google, podcast, and then Pinterest and YouTube, but we're still like kind of like in the earlier stages. But I was like, I love marketing. Like I live and breathe marketing. Why can I not get Instagram? And this is why I think this like lie of needing to be on Instagram is so powerful, because they're like, the feeling of like, maybe it's just me is, I think like how the lie keeps you hooked. And so then I was like, you know what? People are doing well on Instagram. I have a problem, or I have a business that solves a problem that I believe to my core so many small business owners need help with. I believe so many small business owners need to understand the power of search-driven marketing like blogging and Pinterest, getting found online as the best way to market your business. I'm not saying you can't market your business in other ways. I just believe more people need to understand that the best way is through like these SEO search-driven ways. So I'm like, I'm going to fix this. You know what? This Instagram thing has been weighing on me for like 4.5, 5 years. Now, like, we need to do something. We need to take action. And so I hired a social media manager, and not just any social media manager. One, a more expensive social media manager. And then two, somebody who did the social media management for a coach who I hired. So I was like, I felt like I was pretty familiar with how effective she was, as in she got me to buy coaching, which was wonderful. Like no complaints. Like this was a really good situation. I was really like excited and feeling really positive about working with her. And I was like, I've given it my fair shot. I want Instagram to work for me. Like this is the obvious next step. So I hired the social media manager and I was like, I know Instagram can work. I clearly just don't have the skill. But unfortunately, the results were crystal clear. It did not move the needle on inquiries at all. And I tried for 6 solid months, posting 5 days a week. After that, I was like, okay, I cannot keep paying the social media manager. It's too expensive. I'm not getting an ROI, blah, blah, blah. Big business decision. And then I was like, I know I can do this. I still didn't quit. I was like, I can do this. And then I invested in another Instagram membership. And then one of the Instagram things that they were talking about is trial reels. And I was like, you know what? Trial reels is really like, I'm just going to go all in on trial reels. I'm going to post like 10 times a day, whatever it was. And then I literally went to post my first trial reel and I realized that I didn't have access to the feature, even though I have a public account with over 1,000 followers. So I should have had the feature, but I didn't. And I swear that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm like, this is not working. I literally put up a 9 grid like that weekend. I recorded a podcast episode about how I am quitting Instagram, and that was like 6 months ago now, and I have not looked back. I thought that I would miss it because I do like connecting with people over there. I feel like Instagram has this like way of making you feel like you're being productive and like you get to jump on trends. Like sometimes it's fun, you know? I think it was like I was trying to convince myself that it was fun though, because I don't miss it at all. And the amount of time, and more than time, the mental spaciousness that I have gained, like I can't even tell you, like I'm genuinely the happiest I've ever been with my marketing. It's crazy. And my business has not changed. I wasn't getting clients from Instagram before. and I'm still not getting clients from Instagram. So it's really not bothering me. So I want to talk now about why I feel like that lie is like so hard to shake. And I think it's like very hard to shake this feeling like you should be on there because it feels like everybody is on there, right? And I think it's like confirmation bias, right? We think everyone's on there and then we see a ton of people on there and we don't actively look for people who are not marketing their business with social media. I'm actually going to link this video where I talk about 3 different clients that I work with that aren't on social media. So I feel like I sort of have that advantage where one, I do this for a living, right? I do search-driven marketing for a living. So I knew there was other ways to market my business and I had been actively building them up. And then 2, I also saw it working for some of my clients. So I had sort of a little bit more of like an open mind to like some sort of social media free business. And however, I do feel like this is like, we get kind of stuck in this because the problem is Instagram marketing gets sold as a universal, like best place to market your business where everyone's hanging out, blah, blah, blah. And I do think like visibility and actually booking clients get conflated, right? Like being seen is not the same as getting clients. And these platforms are designed to just keep you posting. Their incentives are not to get you booked. I also think that we look longingly at Instagram gurus and we have to remember like Instagram is their product. So if selling Instagram as the solution to all the problems is not your solution, then how do you actually make it work? I said at the beginning that I specialize in search-driven marketing or search-based marketing. So I want to talk quickly about what that actually is. It's kind of this idea that you can like build these content assets for your business once and get found forever. So not like 24-hour news cycles, Google and Pinterest. And I would say podcasting is not as searchable as you might think. But I think when you pair it with a blog post, it can be really great, or YouTube. That's why I'm getting on YouTube, because I believe if people are searching for something, I want them to find my stuff. And I even take this one step further and I write full blog posts based on my YouTube content. It's literally like one of my unpopular opinions is like, do not trust an SEO person or blogging person that is not actively doing it for themselves, because what do you mean? Like, what do you mean you think it's the best way to market a business, but it's not how you're doing it? That's not what you're going to find over here. And in fact, I think that's another thing that bothered me about Instagram is that it felt a little out of integrity, because I kept telling people, you don't need Instagram. This is the best way, blah, blah, blah. But I felt like I wasn't fully like walking the walk the way that I really am now. So when it comes to search-driven marketing, it works while you're not working, right? You create the piece once and then it has a longer lifespan. Typically, like I would say, 6 months to 3 years is what you're going to find is a sweet spot. That's crazy. So much longer. So it is slow to start. Typically, these algorithms will take like 6 months to a year to trust you. Yes. Okay. So I'm not saying like quit Instagram tomorrow and go all in on this, but this might be something that you want to start building towards. If you do desire a little bit more, less screen time, less Instagram time, less comparison game, less posting. I also want to specifically call out service-based businesses, because you also don't need a super high volume of traffic in order to see an ROI from these search-driven things, right? If you are a graphic designer, for example, or a website designer, and your packages are like, let's say like 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, whatever they are, what do you need? Like 1 or 2 clients a month? Like, what is your goal? I feel like you don't need as much traffic as you think you do to make this a viable marketing channel for you. So again, I'm going to tell you, commit to a year of it, commit to a year of consistency, either outsource it to someone like me. I'd love to work with you, or do it yourself, whatever. But don't put all your eggs in a platform that will never be sustainable for you. I feel like I've learned my lesson the hard way twice. So that's why I'm so passionate about this, because the leads that came in while my business was completely dark, those came from content that I had built and forgotten about. I wasn't online. I wasn't posting. I was dealing with a pretty scary year, just like everyone else. And you know what? My life has continued to be crazy. In 2022, I had a baby. In 2023, I had a 1-year-old. My life and schedule is constantly changing, and I just like cannot stress about posting times. I don't want to stress about posting times. Personally, I find I'm a lot happier when I'm not spending as much time on Instagram, or I'm not like staring at my screen like, why am I in 200 view jail? It just drives me crazy. So if you need a little more convincing and you're like, wait, isn't blogging dead? I highly recommend you watch this video next, because I talk all about it. In the meantime, make sure to like this video, subscribe, pretty please, leave a comment, and I will see you next week.